Welcome to my channel where I narrate light novels for you. Today's light novel is a comedy, cooking, and isekai series by Ren Iguchi. It's about a salaryman who cooks with his online supermarket skill in another world with his wolf and dragon familiar. He meets many funny and interesting characters and situations along the way. If you are ready, let's begin the narration of Campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill. Let's begin.
Mukouda Tsuyoshi, a regular guy from Japan, found himself in an unexpected adventure. Caught in a hero's summoning gone wrong, he landed in the Kingdom of Reijseger. The kingdom was in trouble with the demon king, and though Mukohda wasn't the hero, they expected him to help. However, the kingdom's story seemed shady. A royal family lived lavishly while claiming their people suffered. Mukohda decided to leave the castle, armed with 20 gold coins they gave him. Now, on the capital streets, he learned about the kingdom's aggressive actions in a war. He met street kids, treated them to skewers, and gathered valuable information. Mukohda, armed with a unique skill called online supermarket, planned his exit. Buying clothes, staying at an inn, he prepared to take a stagecoach to the border town of Kiel. The next day, Mukohda boarded the stagecoach with other travelers, including a soap peddling man. As the journey began, each person carried their own secrets and motives, setting the stage for an intriguing adventure in this medieval fantasy world. In a world where soap is a luxury for nobles, our protagonist, Mukohda, learns about the rarity of the item box skill. This skill, possessed by 1 in 1,000 people, is highly sought after by nobles and trading companies. Mukohda, pretending to have a small item box, decides to use it discreetly. During a conversation, Mukohda also discovers the elusive appraisal skill, a dream for merchants. However, it's a skill limited to summoned heroes or expensive magical tools found in ancient ruins. Realizing the difficulty of obtaining an appraisal, Mukohda sighs in relief. Mukohda meets a peddler planning to leave the country due to growing suspicions and potential border closures. Fearing the danger, Mukohda feels fortunate for his decision to move. As Mukohda heads to Kiel's, monsters appear, but skilled adventurers effortlessly handle them. Arriving in Kiel's, a notice about stagecoach services being on hold raises concerns about border closures. Mukohda seeks information from adventurers in a local restaurant, learning about the country's increasing suspicion and potential wars. Mukohda decides to cross the border and later discovers the Adventurers Guild. He opts to hire guards for the journey and learns about the country's current state from seasoned adventurers. The next day, Mukohda visits the Adventurers Guild to post his request. The receptionist recommends a C-rank party for the on-foot journey and suggests a reward of 8 gold coins due to increased demand. Having his request swiftly accepted, Mukohda meets the C-rank party, Iron Will, and learns about the country's tensions. They set off towards Vienen, with Mukohda preparing food for the journey using his cooking skills. During a break, Mukohda shares the secret of his magic stove and impresses Iron Will with a delicious meal. The party members express gratitude for Mukohda's cooking, creating a bond as they traveled together towards Vienen, aiming for a safe and peaceful life. 3 days had passed since leaving Kiel's, or if I had taken the stagecoach, we would have already reached Vienen. However, our journey on foot had been smooth, thanks to the skilled members of Iron Will, who quickly handled any goblins or wolves that crossed our path. As the sun began to set, Werner, the leader, suggested we stop for the day and set up camp. My duty was food, so I carefully chose a simple menu: grilled sausages, pot au feu, and bread. The group enjoyed the meal, praising my cooking skills. Curious about the unexpected compliments, I decided to use my appraisal skill. To my surprise, the pot au feu increased max HP, and the sausage and bread boosted max MP. It was my cooking's fault. 5 days into our journey, we halted for the day again. I was given permission to use the red boar meat obtained by Iron Will. Wanting to keep it simple, I opted for ginger-fried pork. The meal received overwhelming praise from the group, and even a majestic wolf, Fenrir, appeared. Fenrir requested some of the food, and with no other option, I cooked more for him. After devouring a substantial amount, Fenrir decided to form a contract with me, becoming my familiar. Despite my initial hesitation, I agreed, and suddenly, my skills included familiars, contracted magic beasts. Fenrir, now bound by the contract, Fenrir informed me that, as his master, I had to take care of him and provide 3 meals a day. The group, initially frozen in fear, learned that Fenrir understood human speech, easing their concerns. As the night progressed, Fenrir requested a name, and on a whim, the journey continued, and the Fenrir, now named Fel, joined our group. We were on our way to Venin, with Fel attracting attention due to his legendary status. As we approached the border, concerns arose about the potential trouble S presence could cause. Mukohda, the one who formed a contract with Fel, tried to assure the others that Fel wouldn't harm anyone unless provoked. The group faced border guards, and Mukohda had to vouch for Fel's behavior. After some convincing, they were allowed to intervene, but Mukohda had to pay a hefty fee for Fel's entry. Fel, the Fenrir, seemed nonchalant about the situation, stating that he would only act if someone threatened Mukohda or him. He remained focused on his desire for good food. Despite being a legendary beast, Fel's motivations were surprisingly simple. The members of Iron Will were amazed by the encounter with the Fenrir. They marveled at the legendary creature and admired Mukohda's ability to control Fel. They saw it as a once-in-a-lifetime experience and anticipated bragging about it to others. As they entered Venin, Werner hinted at potential challenges ahead for Mukohda, considering the authorities likely knew about the Fenrir's entry, setting the stage for a more complex and busy journey. The journey continued as Mukohda and Fel reached the border town of Fallières. They encountered an envoy from Margrave Lindell who insisted on meeting Mukohda. However, Mukohda, not planning to stay in the country for long, politely refused the invitation, deciding to register at both the Adventurers and Merchants Guilds. Mukohda and Fel made their way to the Merchants Guild. There, they learned about the various ranks and fees associated with the guild. Opting for an iron rank due to his plans of traveling with Fel, Mukohda paid the registration fee and received his guild card. With the goal of selling goods to the guild, Mukohda also inquired about wholesale purchases. The guild confirmed that they do buy goods wholesale, prompting Mukohda to plan on bringing items for sale the next day. To find accommodation, Mukohda asked the guild for recommendations and was directed to the Jumping Horse Inn. The inn allowed Fel to stay as well, though the room with accommodation for a familiar cost them 7 silver a night. After settling in, Mukohda realized he forgot to inquire about an inn where he could cook. Returning to the guild, he received directions to an inn named Jumping Horse and headed there with Fel. Mukohda considered his next steps, including the sale of salt and pepper to the Merchants Guild, registering at the Adventurers Guild, and the purchase of cooking equipment and ingredients from his online supermarket. The narrative followed Mukohda's cooking adventure, preparing a delicious meal for himself and continuing from where things left off. Mukohda found himself busy grilling steaks to satisfy Fel's appetite. After experimenting with different flavors like onion and butter, he realized the rice should be ready soon. Utilizing his magical item box, a perk from being summoned as a hero, Mukohda stored leftovers effortlessly. While the rice was cooking, he kept preparing steaks for Fel, who had specific flavor preferences. Mukohda marveled at the convenience of the online supermarket, the source of his ingredients from another world. Fel, a magical beast, enjoyed the feast without any concerns about the flavors being too strong. After a satisfying meal, Mukohda decided to sell salt and pepper to the Merchants Guild. The guildmaster, impressed by the quality, offered a generous amount of gold. Mukohda happily accepted, thinking of the potential income source. Feeling financially secure, Mukohda then visited the Adventurers Guild to register. The receptionist's cold demeanor didn't deter him, and he filled out the necessary forms. Fel's presence discouraged others from bothering him in the adventurer-filled guild. Once registered as a G-rank adventurer, Mukohda learned about the guild's rules and the need to complete quests regularly. Feeling the pressure to maintain his registration, he considered taking a quest right away. Looking at the available options on the quest board, he decided to start with a G-rank quest involving harvesting medicinal herbs. Excited about the new opportunity, Mukohda wondered if he could balance adventuring with his other responsibilities. Little did he know, his journey in this new world was just beginning. The adventurer, having successfully obtained the cure grass, decided to head to the weapon shop before venturing into the grassy plain outside the East Gate. Accompanied by Fel, the journey continued with a plan to purchase a short sword for added security. Fel, displaying unexpected magical abilities, assured the adventurer of safety with a protective barrier. As they reached the weapon shop, the adventurer acquired a beginner-friendly short sword for 8 silver. The next task was to collect cure grass from the grassy plain. Fel, ever vigilant, offered to create a barrier for safety during the herb-picking expedition. After a brief separation, during which Phil hunted for meat, the adventurers successfully gathered cured grass using their appraisal skill. Amazed by Phil's incredible abilities, the adventurer appraised their companion and discovered Phil's impressive status and extensive skill set. The rest of the day involved continued herb picking and successful hunting by Phil, who brought back a variety of creatures, including a red boar and a murder grizzly. The adventurer, using an item box to carry the monsters, returned to town on Phil's back. Upon entering the Adventurers Guild, the adventurer handed over the cure grass and merge grass, receiving payment for their efforts. The adventurer also sought to sell the monsters, prompting the guild to direct them to a specific counter due to the size of the prey. Phil and the protagonist trailed behind the old man to a warehouse behind the sales counter. The old man recognized them, mentioning rumors about a guy with a veneer causing a stir in town. The protagonist confirmed that Phil hunted the monsters they brought in. The old man was amazed at the variety and quality of the monsters, identifying them as powerful A and B rank creatures. The protagonist, more concerned about Phil's meals, asked if the monsters were edible, and the old man assured that all were with high-quality meat. The protagonist decided to keep the meat for Phil and sell the rest. The old man agreed and offered to butcher them, deducting the cost from the profits. The protagonist requested one red boar to be butchered immediately for Phil's meal. The old man efficiently butchered the red boar, and the protagonist sold the hide and scraps while keeping the meat. The old man mentioned the meat would fetch a good price, but the protagonist insisted on keeping it for Phil. The next day, they returned to the Adventurers Guild. The old man had all the meat ready, and the protagonist stored it in their item box. The old man admired the size of the item box but didn't dwell on it. The protagonist received 202 gold coins for selling the monster materials. The old man mentioned a rumor about the familiar being a veneer, but some believed it to be a great wolf. The protagonist saw an opportunity to use the great wolf theory if needed in larger towns. With their business concluded, they left the town of Feliers. Continuing down the road with Phil by their side, the protagonist, having left Feliers behind, noticed the absence of monsters. Grateful for the monster-free journey, they decided to ask Phil about magic. Expressing excitement at the prospect of learning magic, the protagonist inquired about the process. Phil, a magic user, explained that one needs to circulate magic power within their body to use magic. Skeptical but willing to learn, the protagonist touched Phil's back to feel the magic power circulation. With a newfound understanding, they began practicing while walking. Feeling hungry, the duo decided to have lunch. The protagonist, eager to showcase their cooking skills, prepared an orc meat dish resembling pork chops. To their surprise, it turned out delicious, prompting them to make more. Later, while practicing magic, the protagonist successfully conjured a small fireball. Despite Phil's amused reaction, they considered it a small victory. As the day progressed, Phil expressed his hunger, leading to a feast of otherworldly side dishes ordered online. Phil enjoyed the meal, praising the protagonist's cooking skills. Curious about the protagonist's world, Phil learned about livestock and how animals are raised for food. Impressed, he credited the protagonist's country for its dedication to culinary perfection. As Phil finished the meal, he remarked on feeling energized, even suggesting he could defeat an ancient dragon. Alarmed, the protagonist realized the ingredients from their online supermarket may have unexpected effects. Appraising Phil, they were shocked to see a significant boost in his stats. Perplexed by the unintended consequences of their cooking, Mukohda faced a new mystery, wondering if the otherworldly ingredients had a profound impact on Phil's formidable abilities. Continuing from where the story left off, Phil's stats had received a significant boost, likely due to the quality of food and how it was prepared. Despite the mysterious enhancement, Mukohda remained optimistic, expecting everything to return to normal by the next morning. Phil, bursting with energy, decided to go hunting in the dark forest. Concerned about potential monster attacks, Mukohda voiced worries, but Phil assured protection with a magical barrier. However, instead of staying put, Phil dashed into the forest, leaving Mukohda alone in the dark. Facing the situation, Mukohda turned to their trusty online supermarket to purchase a flashlight, batteries, and even a comfortable futon set. With Phil's barrier magic in place, a peaceful night's sleep seemed guaranteed. The next morning, Mukohda woke up to a surprising scene. 3 mountains of monster corpses piled up, a result of Feel's energetic night of hunting. A mix of gratitude and concern filled Mukohda as they wondered how to manage the abundance of monster meat. After appraising the pile, Mukohda discovered a variety of creatures, including orcs, ogres, a chimera, and more. Fel, ever nonchalant, explained his encounters and battles, leaving Mukohda in awe of his strength. Curious about the Orc King and its missing companions, Fel revealed an encounter with an orc settlement, resulting in a one-sided battle and the selection of only the strongest monsters to bring back. As Mukohda contemplated the logistics of handling the monster corpses, Fel expressed hunger, leading to the preparation of a delicious cockatrice dish. Mukohda then considered restocking supplies from the online supermarket and decided to purchase more canned coffee, among other items. With a comfortable bed, ample food, and enhanced magic practice, Mukohda continued their journey with Fel. Despite being initially hesitant about combat, Mukohda dedicated 3 days to practicing magic, hoping to improve their abilities. During a practical test suggested by Fel, Mukohda struggled with casting fireballs at goblins. Fel, however, encouraged perseverance and provided a barrier for protection. As Mukohda faced an overwhelming number of goblins, their magical skills improved with each fireball cast. In the end, Mukohda collapsed, exhausted, but Fel praised their progress. Waking up later, Mukohda expressed resentment for Fel's intense training method, but Fel pointed out the positive outcome. Mukohda's improved magical abilities, excited about becoming a mage. He was puzzled that his job still read a victim from another world. Hoping it would change with more skills or levels, he pondered over his status. Fel, his companion, revealed a massive goblin king he had hunted, explaining its worth due to a magic stone. Mukohda realized goblin kings were at least B rank. Fel, seemingly drawn to the taste of meat from Mukohda's world, requested another feast in exchange for the goblin king. Reluctantly agreeing, Mukohda ordered sweetbread and coffee from the online supermarket. To his surprise, Fel enjoyed the sweet treats. Later, they decided to travel west towards a deep forest, though Fel knew nothing about the countries in that direction. As they approached a village, Mukohda used telepathy to communicate with Fel, deciding to keep Fel's identity as a Fenrir a secret. The village welcomed them cautiously, and Mukohda inquired about getting a map. The village chief mentioned Hōrō as a possible place to find a map, 4 days away. Eager to continue their journey, they left the village. Along the way, Mukohda used Fel as a means of transportation, and they decided to head to Hōrō for a map. In Hōrō, Mukohda hoped to find the information he needed about the various countries and their political situations. As Mukohda settled down for the night, he remembered the cardboard he had accumulated through his skill. Realizing it could be used to keep his futon from getting damp or dirty, he felt proud of the ecological solution. Recalling he had been collecting cardboard, previously deemed as trash, he decided to put it to good use, fulfilling Fel's request. He arranged the cardboard and laid out futons for both of them. Despite Fel's massive size, Mukohda happily bought 3 futons for his companion. After setting up the sleeping arrangements, Fel, feeling satisfied and sleepy, requested a protective barrier, which he quickly put up before dozing off. Mukohda too prepared to sleep soundly under Fel's protective barrier. Excited about reaching Hōrō the next day, he hoped their entry would be smooth. With that in mind, he closed his eyes, anticipating a peaceful night before their arrival in the bustling town. Entering Hōrō proved challenging, not just because Fel, the legendary Fenrir, was with him, but due to the long line at the gates. Amidst the chaos, a scream erupted, forcing Mukohda to explain Fel's presence. Eventually, they faced armored soldiers who scrutinized them. The soldier recognized Fel as a familiar, a formidable A-rank monster, and warned about potential consequences if any harm befell the city. Despite the stern warning, they were allowed entry. The town revealed a disturbing aspect: the presence of slaves, emphasizing the lack of human rights in this otherworldly place. Securing lodging at the Elmira Inn, Mukohda aimed to gather information. The bustling city showcased diverse races, some collared, likely indicating their enslaved status. The adventurers acknowledged Fel, but didn't make a fuss. The Elmira Inn charged 8 silver for a night's stay, accommodating familiars. Mukohda then visited a bookstore, hoping for a map, but stumbled upon a book on beginner-level magic. Although tempted, the high price discouraged the purchase. Mukohda resolved to visit the library for magical knowledge and potential information about countries. In the library, despite the lack of maps, Mukohda learned about magic. Magic proficiency depended on one's ability to sense and control magic power. Basic elements included fire, water, wind, and earth, while special elements like ice and lightning required mastery of the basics. Healing and sacred magic had specific prerequisites, while holy magic required a god's blessing. Mukohda, disappointed about the missing maps, decided to ask adventurers for country information. Feel's holy magic abilities intrigued Mukohda, and a disturbing realization hit. Fel might have been involved in the destruction of a country. Determined to learn more, Mukohda headed to a bar frequented by adventurers, seeking information about various countries and their situations. Mukohda shared tales of cruel treatment in some lands, shedding light on the stark differences in racial treatment across different regions. In the midst of the bar's lively atmosphere, Mukohda found himself duped after purchasing a map from a group of adventurers. Mukohda had claimed it was a valuable map from a retiring senior, but another adventurer revealed that such maps were sold at Adventurers Guild for a mere 1 silver. Feeling embarrassed and deceived, Mukohda lamented the inflated price he paid for the map. The laughing adventurers explained that the guild produces these maps by gathering information from fellow adventurers, allowing them to easily afford it. Some adventurers even customize maps with additional details about topography, monsters, and more. Despite the laughter and teasing from the other adventurers, Mukohda had to admit that it was his own fault for being tricked. The revelation about the readily available maps at the guild was a hard lesson learned, leaving Mukohda in a mix of frustration and regret. Shaken by the recent scam, Mukohda returned to the inn, reflecting on the unexpected deception. Acknowledging that good and bad people exist in every world, Mukohda decided to move on to either the Kingdom of Ermin or Leonhardt, armed with the newly acquired map. With a plan in mind, Mukohda, accompanied by Fel, set out on the journey. The discussion about potential destinations unfolded during their travels, revealing the adventurous nature of the world they were in. However, the adventure took an unexpected turn when Fel, driven by his insatiable appetite, decided to catch fish for their meal. Riding on Fel's back, Mukohda experienced a harrowing journey through the forest. Despite Mukohda's screams and pleas for a slower pace, Fel remained focused on reaching the lake where they could catch fish. Upon arriving at the lake, Fel displayed his magical prowess by using lightning to stun the fish, making them easy to catch. Mukohda, while hesitant about Fel's methods, joined in selecting various types of fish, including violet trout, king trout, and even a rare lake shark. As Mukohda prepared to cook the fish, Fel suggested trying a peculiar, tingling pink fish called poison lakefish. Unaware of its toxicity, Fel had been enjoying it, showcasing the extent of his reliance on his god's blessing. Concerned for Fel's safety, Mukohda decided to stick to non-poisonous options. The scene shifted to Mukohda skillfully preparing a variety of fish dishes, including whole-grilled violet trout, foil-roasted king trout, and meunier. The feast was enjoyed with canned beer, providing a satisfying end to the day's adventures. Content with the delicious meal, Mukohda felt a sense of accomplishment despite the earlier setback, looking forward to the continued journey with Fel. After a satisfying meal, Fel expressed his desire for seconds, particularly enjoying the foil roast and meunier dishes. Mukohda gladly prepared more, noting Fel's newfound liking for tartar sauce. Continuing with the cooking, Mukohda made additional soy butter and salt and pepper foil roast, ensuring a variety of flavors. Fel, appreciating the efforts, enjoyed the extended feast, emphasizing how much he relished the taste of fish after a long while. As the night settled in, Mukohda decided to practice earth magic. However, the attempts proved to be challenging, and Fel suggested another battle to accelerate the learning process. Reluctant due to past goblin encounters, Mukohda expressed a strong aversion to reliving such a situation. Undeterred, Fel insisted that it was necessary for learning earth magic. Mukohda, feeling frustrated, continued to practice, determined to overcome the obstacle. After the practice session, Mukohda prepared for sleep. However, a surprising discovery awaited: the appearance of a baby slime at their feet. Curious and amused, Mukohda engaged with the friendly slime, realizing it was a newborn. Fel explained that slimes were generally harmless, and this one had likely just been born. Mukohda decided to feed the baby slime various items from the accumulated trash in their item box. The slime eagerly consumed everything, proving to be a convenient disposal solution for Mukohda's trash dilemma. Impressed by the slime's friendly demeanor, Mukohda named it Sui. To their surprise, a contract with the slime had formed, making it a familiar. As the night unfolded, Mukohda contemplated the newfound addition to their companions.
That's it for today, guys. Hopes you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching. See you on next video.